The Veteran's Voice.
And this is, of course, our weekly look at what's going on in the world of veterans. It's been quite an interesting week for all sorts of reasons. We've got a new Secretary of State for Defence, and, of course, we've heard all the stuff from Prince Harry over the course of the last few days. But we'll come to that later on, Hugh, shall we?
Yeah,
because, first of all, we've got an incredible character to speak with. Mr. Hari Budha Magar, who's going to be telling us all about his achievements post-veterans...
post his
time.
Military service,
Yes.
yeah. And again,
tell us a bit about him.
Harry's just, what I keep banging on about every week, about trying to change the narrative about our veterans and the veterans community. And Harry is everything that we have been talking about. It's why we're here, doing what we're doing, supporting veterans, Harry, and the other one. He's inspirational. He's got all those great military values of, humility, determination, tenacity, etc. And I just thought it was, we really ought to give him a voice today to tell our viewers what he has achieved, why he's doing it, and what he plans to do next.
Right. And before we go to speak to him, he is, as of May of this year, the first ever double above-knee amputee to summit the world's tallest mountain, Mount Everest.
Yep, he is. Harry was born in Nepal. He was born in 1979, and every day he walked 45 minutes to school and then back barefoot.
Right.
He didn't have any paper, no pens at school, so he learnt to write, read with a piece of chalk and a plank, and at 19 he joined the Royal Gurkha Rifles.
Yeah, and the Gurkhas are an amazing regiment, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I've served with them many, many times. Great guys, very proud.
Yeah.
And again, exactly why us as a country should absolutely treat them as our brothers. They're our brothers in arms, and they are one of us.
Yeah, well, let's introduce him to everybody now. It's Hari Budha Magar. Hari, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to talkTV. Welcome to the Veteran's Voice. Oh, I think we may have just lost him. We'll get him back in a second.
Thank you very much.
He lost his legs to an IED in Afghanistan, a fate that unfortunately affects a lot of people who were out there.
Absolutely. For those who aren't aware, an IED, so it's an improvised explosive device, normally buried in the ground. Back in the day in Northern Ireland, often had a command wire. Probably, these days also can be, well, you used to be able to go to the old shop Maplins and pick up. He had the misfortune of standing on a device which sadly took both of his legs off above the knee.
Right.
So you're absolutely right, Mike. He's the first double above the knee amputee to summit Everest.
I think we have him back. Hari, a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Veterans Voice.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you. Your story is an incredible one. I'm sure you've told it to other people before, but tell us all about what you did after what happened to you. I mean, obviously we've heard from Hugh all about your childhood and going to school and walking miles and miles and miles without shoes on and all of that, and you joining the Gurkhas. I mean, it's a fantastic story. Up until the moment, I guess, in 2010, when you stepped on something which resulted in a catastrophe for you.
Absolutely. I served 15 years with a brigade of Gurkhas, and I'm very proud of what I did, and I'm very privileged and honored to serve with such a regiment. But sometimes life doesn't go always as a plan, and it takes completely opposite turn than we expected.
Yes.
I was deployed in Afghanistan 12, which is 2010 in Afghanistan, in Helmand province. And we were in foot patrol, and I just stepped on IED. I was a 10th out of the 20 in the squad. We were in single file, and 9 passed safely, and I stepped on IED. So maybe other people just established a very world and maybe just triggered. And when I went and just
And
yeah, I was just said.
is that a kind of surreal experience then from that moment on? I've spoken to soldiers in the past who have described, you know, explosions and limbs being lost and that kind of thing, and the aftermath of it can sometimes be kind of a surreal experience. What was it like for you?
Yeah, I never thought that I would lose both of my legs. I thought I may die in a war. I thought that, you know, I was, you know, in my mind, I thought I'm a Gurkha. You know, I don't want to get kidnapped by those people, and I will fight until end of my breath. I might get shot, maybe lose maybe one limb, but never thought that I would lose both limbs.
Right.
And simply that was pretty hard, but what it is it is many things that we don't have a choice apart from getting on with it.
Yes, and so you got on with it. We're seeing pictures of you now in the hospital, I guess, afterwards, and also learning to walk again, I suppose. How difficult was that?
It was hard. The problem for me was I never seen the people walking on the metal legs like myself before. You know, we were kind of pretty much second batch of the people that who got you know, hurt from you know, Iraq and Afghanistan, and after that we could able to see more people. More people, you know, working with the metal legs. But I grew up to age of 19 in Nepal, and yeah, I never seen the people with the metal legs working, and even they didn't have limbs. It was all about just covering it up, you know, just hiding it. So I think none of the problem solved hiding it. I think we need to bring it out and discuss it, and that's the only way we can solve it.
And I think we've got a little video to show everybody. This is from when you went up Everest. There's a message that says, "We did it." Everest is an incredible thing to have achieved, and you're the first, I think, and only, or the first ever double above knee amputee to summit the mountain. How long did it take you, first of all?
My expedition time was 64 days. So just climbing up is just 5 days up, 2 days down.
Yeah.
But we had
quick.
We had to wait. You know, we had to do first rotation and second rotation. We had to climatize in another mountain, and wait 19 days just in the base camp to route to be open, weather to be get better. Yeah.
And what made you decide to do that? What was your kind of in your mind when you decided I'm going to do this? What was the motivation for that?
They're always in my mind about Everest, because I grew up in Nepal up to age of 19, and hearing the story of Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, who summited the Everest first. But also, you know, looking the mountain every day when I was growing up, and it was always in my mind. And I couldn't do it when I was in service as well, and when I was skiing in Germany, Austria, and in Colorado, just looking at the snow-capped mountain and always thinking of the Everest. And later I was able to, you know, just test myself. And yeah, I committed. Once I committed, then it's never going back. You know, you know, I have to do it some ways.
Yes. Man, once you've done something like that, what do you do afterwards? What do you do next?
I'm planning at the moment 7 summits, so 7 highest peaks in 7 continents at the moment. My aim is to making awareness of disability, so hopefully I'm going around will make more awareness of disability. I think it's very important that people with disability believe that we can able to do something else, but also it's make awareness of our family, friends, community, and authorities that you know, they support us, you know, right away. They don't ban us climbing mountain or doing something that we love.
Right. And how important was the army experience for you then to do all this?
I think two things I think played really a huge role, I think, to make it successful for Everest. One is the way I grew up in my childhood. Second thing is my service in the military that taught me about military doctrine, discipline, hard work. One of the things I learned about is momentum, this whole principle of war. One of the principle of war, and I knew that if we keep it going how slow we are, we'll get there.
Yeah, and it's worth it when you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. Hari, listen, great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. You're a real inspiration to an awful lot of people. Hari Budha Magar, former Gurkha, conqueror of Everest. What a guy. I mean, you see people like that and you think, what on earth is anybody complaining about in life?
Absolutely, Mike. I've said to you many times, my passion for supporting the veterans community, whether it be finding them employment, etc., it all boils down, really, to men and women like him.
Yeah.
The men and women in the British Armed Forces, all three services, are the best in the world.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of doubt. Not the biggest, certainly haven't got the best kit and equipment, but they are the best.
Yeah.
And that's why we as a country have to keep them in the forefront of what we do. Those who served need to be looked after and respected when they come out.
Yeah.